Hello all and welcome to Wayne's Allotment. So, what have I got for you this time round? Well, I'll give you a update with regards to my allotment, or with regards to the site more than anything. I pot on my peppers and I show you a little trick that I'm copying off somebody with regards to ensuring I don't get any of them mixed up. More of that later on. Oh, and I've had a little present bought me, so I'll show you a little bit with regards to that. I'd like to thank everybody that watches my videos, comments, likes, subscribes. It's all very much appreciated. So without further ado, let's crack on. Thanks a lot. Right, well, there's not a lot going on the plot this time of year. The date is the 8th of December, and I thought, because these are starting to get a bit floppity, I thought it was time to get them pot on these larkspur. Right, as you can see with some of these larkspur, the roots are starting to come through, so that's as good a sign as any that these need potting on. I'm going to just put a little bit of compost into the bottom and then put the pots in. Just work a little bit using the dibber, work the soil in round the pot and firm it down. I won't do all of these, I'll just show you me doing this one and then I'll bring you back when they're all done. I also have got other things I want to pot on, and I'll show you. There we go. Nice root structure there. So we'll just firm that in. There we go. So that's the first of many. As I say, I've got 12 to do. So now they're all, or once they're all done, I'll bring you back and show you them when they're finished. That's it. That's all the larkspur potted up. There's a dozen there. They're going to stay out here now in the greenhouse because the forecast for this coming week, it's I think it's going to be just a bit of baby weather, wet and windy. There's no sign of any frost looking at the forecast and so on, so we'll leave them out here and we'll see how they get on. So today is the 9th of December and it's my birthday. One little little, and it is only a very little snippet of information I can give you with regards my birthday. I am exactly the same age as Coronation Street. Yes, I know it's nothing to brag about at all. So now we've got that out the way, I'll show you what my wife's bought me. It's something I was going to buy myself, but I wasn't looking at buying it till probably January, February. But I'll show you what she's bought me. There you go, Bug Hotel. The thing that has made me mention this more than anything is in the instructions, if you just see that little picture there, it's showing flowers growing out of this top piece, the roof basically, and it does say about putting some flowers in there, but it's only about 1 inch deep, and I don't think there'd be a lot that would grow in there, plus you'd be forever needing to water it. But this is going up on the fence where I've sheeted off the hedge now that I've cut that back, and it's exposed all that ground. I'm going to make that into a flower border all the way along, and this is going to be attached to the fence just at the end of the flower border. So hopefully we'll get some insects starting to make home in that. So yes, thank you very much to my darling wife. Brilliant. Okay, another little job that I want to get and start to get on with is my peppers. These are Joe's Long. They were sown the 19th of November. Once they were sown, they went into the heated propagator. They've then been put under my grow lights, and as you can see, they're starting to get the first true leaves on these, so it's about time these were potted on. Now, the original thought was to use these little pots that the larkspur were in, because they'll be plenty big enough. These are, and one of these are something like 1.5 inch, 2 inch, something like that. But then I came across, dug these out, and these are 3 inch pots, and I'm going to use the 3 inch pots. The thinking behind it is less disturbance. Although they're only very small seedlings, once they go in these, they can carry on under the grow lights in the house, but they'll get themselves really well established in these pots before they then get potted on into ultimately 7 inch pots like these. That's, well, 7 inch pots and builder's buckets. If you look back on some of my previous videos when I show you my peppers, you'll see that in the greenhouse here I've had some in builder's buckets and used those as pots, and the plants have done really well, so they will, that's the plan of attack. We're also going down another little route, and I am not making any excuses for this. What I'm going to do with this, that I am going to hold hand on heart and admit now that I'm copying Nigel Muddy Boots in that he numbers his pots, and I can understand why. If you number the pot and then keep a list, so that number 1, in my case, number 1 will be Joe's Long peppers. Number 2, because I've got these here, the Poblano, number 2 will be Poblano, and I shall go that way. And it's a lot easier, because when they're little seedlings like this, as like with cabbage, cauliflower, sprouts, broccoli, so on, as seedlings they all look the same, and if you're not careful, with all the best will in the world, you could end up mixing them up. So I'm going to well, I've got little numbers. In fact, I'll show you. Let me just put one on one of these pots. As I say, I'm numbering everything up, and I'm going to, once I can get the backing off these, he says, struggling. I knew this would happen. This is one of those Blue Peter moments. Something I should have prepared earlier. There we go. That's it. Number one. And I'm going to do four pots with the number one on. They will be the Joe's Long, as I say. Number two, they will be the Poblano, and so on. And that's how I'll go with these. And that way then I'll keep it all written down. Might even put it on a spreadsheet on my computer. But once it's all down, it doesn't matter then where that pot goes with that chili in. I know where it is. Number one, Joe's Long. Simple. And as I've said, I'm copying Nigel Muddy Boots. So hope you don't mind, Nigel. But I think that system you use is brilliant. I know you use it year in, year out, and I can totally see the logic in it. It really is 100% faultless. So that's the way I'm going. So I'm going to prepare some of these pots, and I'll bring you back once I start potting these chilies on. Okay, so there we have, I'll just check, they're the Joe's Long chilies, and these are the pots with number one on. The date is the 8th of December. The mix I'm using is sieved, this is a little bit of sieved clover compost with a bit of vermiculite and a bit of perlite mixed in, just to help with drainage and aeration around the roots. Get me dibber and we'll make little indentations into those. Get those, and then I'll use my little, use this to then dig them out. So let's go. Holding them by the leaf, and there's a very, look at that. That's a very good root ball for such a, in fact I might have to make these holes a little bit bigger. There we go, that's one in. Work our way through these. I'll just rest that on there while I make these holes a bit bigger and a bit deeper. And there's a very good root structure on these. I'm very, very pleased. And I'm just going to do 4 of each. That looks a slightly better plant, slightly better seedling, that one. It's starting to get the secondary leaves coming on those nicely. Very good root structure. I'm very pleased with these. These are fantastic. And one more. I only really want, to be perfectly honest, I only really want about 2 of each plant. because I've got sweet peppers as well as these chili peppers, and I've got my other chilies. I will show you them all once they're finished. There we go. That's it. That's, as you can see, all 4 done there now. They're all Joe's Long. I'm now going to do the poblano. I'll do 4 of those, and these, as I've said, these will now go back in the house, and they will go back under the grow lights so that they can get themselves really well established in these bigger pots. Very carefully tease or work that in. Don't want to damage any roots at all. There we go, and that's the poblano. So there's the 4 poblano, 4 Joe's Long, and as I've said, with me numbering them, I know exactly what's what. I can put them where I like now. I can shuffle them around to my heart's content, and it doesn't matter. I know that that is poblano, and that number 1 is Joe's Long. So I can shuffle them around and do what I like with them now. That's all safe. So I can't do any more at the moment because time is against me. I'm hoping you can see these quite well. It's what is the time actually? Let's have a look, because it's getting on a bit. Yeah, it's 20 past 3. It looks quite dark out there. So yes, that's the start of the chilies being potted on, ready for 2020. Okay, there we have it. That is all the peppers potted on, all done. And because they're numbered, it doesn't matter where they go. Any pot can go anywhere, because as I've got here, I'll just show you if it'll. There you go, everything numbered, written down. You can also see that I have written the date of when the seed was sown. That will also help out with regards doing this process next year. So there's really no more I can say about those. There's some onions at the back. They are the Robinson's Mammoth. They're coming on quite nicely. And I've also got, these have been under here. And as you can see, they are the all year round cauliflower. They've picked up no end, doing really well. And then here, which would be living there, that's my rab broccoli, which is doing quite nicely. I'm pleased with both of those. Once they get potted on, these again, they'll go that little bit deeper because of them being a little leggy. I'm not 100% certain why they're so leggy. I think it's the grow lights, to be perfectly honest. Simple as that. But that's so that's the peppers all sorted, all done, ready for next year. Back round about September time, I think it was, I was informed that there would be some measuring of plots taking place. Little bit of allotment history for you now with this site. Back in last year, 2018, we ran with no committee. We had a point of contact with the trustees, and that person is now on our committee actually. And come this year, 2019, the trustees instructed us to form a committee, they said that we could no longer continue as we were. So a committee was formed, and once all the relevant paperwork was handed over and such like, there was some irregularities, shall we say, with regards to the number of plots that were on record and the number of plots on site. So the decision was made to resize everything, go start from scratch, measure everything up and sort out what the actual sizes should be, where they were and so on. So I'll just show you now a little bit of what's gone on with that, and I'll show you what it means to me. Right, our site entrance is down the bottom there. So when the undertaking was made with regards to measuring up, they've come from the bottom end there, because on this side all these plots have been held by the same people for years, in some cases going into double figures. So this, there we go, that marker there denotes the start of this plot, which is the plot next to me, and it's the plot that somebody, I believe somebody decided they wanted at the start of the year, and literally within about a couple of months of saying they'd have it, they gave it up. They decided they didn't want it. So what they've done is, measuring from that post, all our plots are in roods. They've measured up, that's the next rood marker. Carried on, that's the next rood. Carried on up here, and that's the next rood. And then of course at the end here, that is the end of my plot, where that bit of fencing and those wild roses are. So I have got this, which is one rood. This then gives me, right the way down to here, gives me two roods. And I was asked, do I want to give up the rest of this, or, here we go, because this was the next marker with the rood, do I want to take this on? So I've decided to take this on. It's given me, well, first of all, straight away, it's given me a shed. I haven't got a clue what's in it. It looks pretty well built, but I don't know what's in there. And it's given me about an extra, by the time I've removed the path and put that down this side here, it's given me about an extra 7-8 foot of ground, something like that. So what I've decided I'm going to do, I obviously need to get those pieces of wood out, get the raspberry canes out and lift that path so that the wood and the path can go over this side. And I originally thought to myself, oh, I'll do a couple of rows of potatoes going from front to back, just to see what the ground's like. Maybe only do half rows, so that it then means that I can try carrots, peas, beetroot, something like that in that bit of ground at the back. Then I thought, if I carry on with my rows obviously through onto here, the end of this end of the rows will give me a good idea as to what this ground is like. So that's the approach I'm going. I'm going to carry on, as you can see, like with the leeks that are there, carry on coming across, and I'll come into this virgin ground. Well, that's it for this video. That's probably going to be this will probably be the last video that I shall upload for 2019. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching my videos. Never mind anything else, just watching them. I'd like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll see you all again in 2020. Be good, look after yourselves and each other, and I'll see you all next year. Thanks a lot. Ta-ra a bit.